Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about yet another token that recently got listed on Coinbase, and this token is called Adventure Gold or the AGLD token, right? Again, as always guys, I highly recommend you guys to do your own research on any of the projects we cover on our channel. And for this project, I recommend you guys to go to the website lootproject.com in order to learn more about this project, right? So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use information presented below CoinMarketCap's page for this token. But I was actually very surprised to find that this token did have a substantial bit of information below CoinMarketCap's page for this token. So that's one thing that definitely surprised me, because I thought this token was pretty much not well known, and therefore you can't really find a lot of information, but that was definitely surprising. So even though I rely on this information, you have to do your own in-depth research before you put any of your hard-earned money on this token, right? So what is Adventure Gold? Adventure Gold is the native ERC20 token of the Loot non-fungible token project. Loot is a text-based randomized adventure gear generator and stored on-chain, created by social media network Vine co-founder Don Hoffman. So again, right off the bat, they're stating that this is an ERC20 token, which means it's running on the Ethereum blockchain. It is a token of the Loot non-fungible project. So again, it's a part of another project called Loot non-fungible token project, or NFT project. But overall, what Loot does is, Loot is basically a text-based randomized adventure gear generated and stored on chain. So they develop text-based randomized adventure gear generated information stored on chain within the Ethereum blockchain, and it is created by social media network Vine co-founder Dom Hoffman. So this is the person who created this. The project intentionally has no front-end interface, images, statistics, or functionality. So one unique feature about this platform is that when you go to their project, you won't find any front-end interface or images or statistics or any form of functionality. So that's a very unique way to start your project. Instead, it is based on a set of 8,000 text-based NFTs, open to how the community wants to interpret it. So instead of just having the front-end interface with lots of information, they basically have a platform with a lot of texts. In fact, 8,000 text-based NFTs, which will allow for the viewer's imagination to go wild, which means you can basically figure out whatever you want off the website based on your own perception, right? The NFTs contain texts of gears ranging from the holy greaves of giants to the Grimshout. So overall, the NFTs basically consist of texts of gear ranging from holy greaves of giants to Grimshout. So again, these are basically what the NFTs are based on. As of September 8th, 2021, the floor price of Loot on OpenSea is 8.56 ETH. So again, the relative floor price, or the average price of Loot, is 8.56 ETH. That's a lot of ETH for any pretty normal retail investor to afford to, but that's basically the value of a Loot in OpenSea. And numerous derivative projects are being built around Loot and can be found here. So this project is very unique, and therefore a lot of projects have wanted to work with Loot, and they have partnered with Loot, and you can find a list of projects that are partnering with Loot by clicking on this link here, right? Adventure Gold was launched on September 2nd, 2021, and allowed each owner of a Loot NFT to claim 10,000 tokens for free. So again, just to be very clear for the record, Loot is a separate project, and Adventure Gold is basically a project that allowed for Loot NFT holders to claim 10,000 tokens for free, right? And that's basically how we are getting into the adventure gold picture. With the price of AGLD skyrocketing in the initial days of trading, this airdrop was worth as much as $70,000 per NFT. Again, that's a lot of money, and again, it's a very lucrative airdrop. So if you guys have received AGLD tokens, you probably still have a substantial amount of gains that you're sitting on top of. So people who held loot NFTs, they were airdropped AGLD tokens, and during the initial days, again, it's still kind of like initial because the token only launched during the start of this month. This token has been worth about $70,000 per NFT. So $70,000 worth of AGLD tokens were airdropped to loot NFT holders. AGLD founder Will Papper claimed he wanted to set a standard for projects building on loot by providing a currency for the decentralized gaming universe. So the person who founded AGLD is Will Papper, and he basically wanted to set a standard for projects building on loot by providing a cryptocurrency or currency for the decentralized gaming universe that they're creating, right? So that's a cool thing. So that's a quick background of loot and how Adventure Gold is kind of like related to loot, because Adventure Gold was literally airdropped to people who held the loot NFTs, right? So if you are one of them and if you haven't claimed your airdrop yet, then you can go to the website and find out how you can claim the airdrop, right? Who are the founders of Adventure Gold? So again, we already covered on this a bit, but we'll get a little bit in detail about this. Adventure Gold was founded by Will Papper, who is also the co-founder of Syndicate DAO, a decentralized investing protocol. So Will Papper is the guy who founded Adventure Gold, and he's also a co-founder of another project called Syndicate DAO, which is a decentralized investing protocol, right? Papper is a graduate of Stanford University and a crypto native, having owned Ethereum since the 2014 pre-sale. So he is obviously a crypto enthusiast because he's in the crypto space and he's built a project that has airdropped a lot of money generously to several NFT holders. He's basically a graduate of Stanford University and a crypto native in the sense where he's been a OG crypto hodler of Ethereum since the 2014 pre-sale. So his depending on how many ethers he currently owns and he bought in relation to the initial pre-sale, he's obviously going to be sitting on a decent pile of cash specifically for Ethereum as well, right? And he probably might be owning a whole bunch of other cryptocurrencies as well, obviously including Bitcoin. But yeah, he's an Ethereum fan, and he's been holding it since 2014 pre-sale of Ethereum, right? He created Adventure Gold as a reaction to Vitalik Buterin's endorsing the project and encouraging others to build upon it. So he obviously is a fan of Vitalik Buterin as well, and he noticed Vitalik Buterin endorsing the project, and therefore he created the Adventure Gold, which was basically in direct reflection of what Vitalik Buterin was endorsing, right? Papper launched AGLD one day after Buterin's endorsement on Twitter by writing the majority of the code in 4 hours at a small airport in Oregon. So again, that's a really interesting story because Papper literally got the enthusiasm to build this project just because of Vitalik Buterin's tweet, and he did it in a matter of 4 hours by sitting in a small airport in Oregon, which is basically one of the most craziest cryptocurrency project origins ever that I've read about. So that's a very, very interesting story, to be honest. As of September 6, 2021, Adventure Gold has no official development team beyond Papper. So although this project has an interesting story, it is a little bit of a concern that only Papper is the official developer in this project, and there's no other team members for this project, right? So that's going to be definitely something that we need to be careful about, because this person, depending on how popular they become, they can single-handedly manipulate the token price just by a few tweets or by a few activities, right? and that's obviously a bad thing, but for people who like the token to get pumped, that's probably a good thing, right? So what makes Adventure Gold unique? So what makes this platform very unique? Adventure Gold follows the approach the underlying loot NFT game has hopped for by the community, building on top of the loot as a form of endorsement. So again, one of the main important information that you need to know about Adventure Gold is that the approach they took was basically the same approach that the underlying loot NFT game was looking to seek, and this is by the community building on top of loot as a form of endorsement. So they basically want the community to build the enthusiasm or the endorsement on top of this, which in itself became another endorsement in and of itself, right? So that's one of the main interesting facts about Adventure Gold's origin. While the simplicity and uniqueness of loot itself inspired the Web3 community to come up with numerous derivatives projects based on its code, Adventure Gold itself aims to be used as a governance token and have users vote on future in-game credits or future mints building on top of loot and adopting AGLD. So one of the key reasons to look into this project is because of the fact that it is also based on the simplicity and uniqueness of loot itself, which basically inspired the Web3 community to build numerous derivatives projects, right? So loot had been one of the inspirations for multiple different projects to be built, and also lots of derivatives projects have been built directly influenced by loot itself. So Adventure Gold wants to be this governance token that will have users vote in future in-game credits or future mints, right? Thereby building on top of loot and adopting AGLD. So AGLD wants to become the successor of loot or this better version of loot, and therefore it is an interesting project because of this very motive, right? A multi-sig group consisting of Papper and other extremely reputable community members who love loot can execute contractual permissions such as minting decisions and other governance proposals. So first of all, there are multiple types of wallets. One of the types of wallet is multi-sig, which means you need multiple signatures from different parties in order for to approve a transaction. So a multi-sig group consisting of Papper, who's the founder, and other extremely reputable community members who love loot. These are in double quotes, which means it could be either members of the community or a members of a small oligarchic group that support this project, who may potentially have a significant chunk of this token, right? So that's something that's very interesting to see, such as minting decisions and other governance proposals. So these individuals, including the founder himself, are responsible for minting decisions, which means they can decide on whether the token needs to be minted more or not, and other governance proposals are basically set forth by this small group of people, right? So it is obviously concerning that a small group of people have control over the platform and the governance proposals and the minting decisions, which is the most important criteria for a project. It is definitely concerning, but again, I'll give my final verdict or my final opinion by the end of this video. The development speed of Loot and Adventure Gold and the buzz surrounding the project have also led to a uniquely volatile trading environment, fueled by the decision of powerhouse exchanges such as FTX to list AGLD merely 30 hours after its launch. So the fact that this project was created in a very humble manner is one thing, but 30 hours after this token launch, it immediately got listed on FTX, which I covered in my recent video yesterday, and I believe that FTX is on course to become one of the most popular exchanges in the centralized crypto world. But FTX is known to do some crazy stuff like this because they have listed AGLD literally 30 hours after the launch of this particular project, right? Which is really crazy because again, obviously there have been several other projects that were released faster than this token, but it's still crazy to think that this token was literally created by one guy in an airport in 4 hours just after seeing Vitalik Buterin's tweet of endorsing this project, and an exchange, a world-renowned exchange, centralized exchange, lists this project just 30 hours after its creation. So this whole thing is extremely crazy, and obviously for investors, this is a very volatile project because it's a very kind of like manipulatable token, which you guys need to be extremely careful about, right? So those are some of the two highlights, which again are not really convincing reasons to buy this token, but I'll give my thoughts on this by the end of this video. How is the Adventure Gold network secured? Adventure Gold is an ERC20 token on Ethereum, obviously, therefore, relying on the security of the Ethereum network. The token does not provide a security audit, but it is governed by a multisig consisting of its founder and several other still anonymous wallets. So this is one of the most important things that you need to definitely understand. I know that people won't really like me pointing these things out in this video, but if you don't like this token, then you obviously have a choice to not buy this. If you like this token, then you can buy this. That doesn't mean that other people should buy this token as well, right? The most important thing that you need to understand is that the token does not provide a security audit. So it hasn't provided a security audit, which means it's not even technically audited, right? But it is governed by a multi-sig consisting of its founder and several other still anonymous wallets. So this token is technically governed by a very small group of individuals, which also includes the founder, who seems to be so crazy enough to build this project within 4 hours, that the fact that this person who technically saw a tweet of Vitalik Buterin and created this project from from an airport in a span of 4 hours, holding one of the keys, multi-sig keys containing for this project without an audit, is definitely a big red flag in my opinion. If you guys feel that you disagree with me, please, again, I have no problem if you dislike the video or comment something mean in the comment section, but this is definitely shady and I definitely have my concerns on this particular sentence, right? Ethereum is one of the most popular blockchains and the go-to solution for many decentralized applications and open source projects like Loot and Adventure Gold. ERC20 is the token standard followed by almost all tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. It is secured by proof of work consensus mechanism that requires miners to mine new Ether. A set of decentralized nodes validates transactions and secures Ethereum blockchain. So again, here they're talking about the Ethereum network itself, because obviously Ethereum is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies and its blockchain is one of the most decentralized and most secure blockchains in the crypto space right now. So since this project is built on top of Ethereum, it's obviously leveraging on the security of Ethereum, thereby making this project as well as a secure project just like Ethereum, right? But that still does not mean that this is a good token to buy, because it technically doesn't really have a security audit. It's a very new token with a very crazy origin. Most of the platform itself is mostly governed by a multi-signatory group of oligarchs, which includes the founder himself, who himself sounds like a crazy guy. So that's definitely a red flag for me. I personally don't think that a lot of people would like my review for this project, but I personally don't think that this is a good project that you guys need to look into, but I'll still continue, right? So let's go to the website itself to see how it looks like. Lootproject.com is a website. Again, here you can clearly see that at least the website is pretty cool. You can click OpenSea, it access OpenSea. You can access their Twitter as well as their contact information here. Loot is randomized adventure gear generated and stored on chain. Stats, images, and other functionality are intentionally omitted for others to interpret. Feel free to use Loot in any way you want. So obviously they're trying to present as though this project is something that you can interpret in your own way, thereby psychologically giving control of this project to you, but in reality they do control most of the governance that happens in this platform, right? So again, these are all a bunch of random words that you can easily interpret yourself. There's literally nothing else apart from these random words and in fact some phrases as well, right? So this is all there is. If you want to learn more about this project, you can go to the FAQ and you can read all this information and understand more about this project before you invest in this token, right? We also have resources where you can also access valuable information that will act as a important component of your do your own research project, right? So let's go back to the coin market cap page. So that was a very quick website review. I wish all projects had websites like that. But overall, if you go back to the coin market cap page, this token is currently ranked 254th by market cap on coin market cap, and it's currently trading at $3.26 at the time I make this video, with a 13.45% decrease in the past 24 hours, right? And the market cap is $227 million in market cap, so that much money is already locked into this project. I believe that this project was higher, and the market cap would have probably been close to $250 million. But now that the token itself is shrinking and dumping, the market cap is also shrinking, right? So the max supply and total supply is about 70.1 million tokens. Again, very scarce token, because the max supply is less than 100 million tokens, which is a good thing when it comes to tokenomics. But I still don't trust this project. I don't trust the fact that they haven't had an audit, and I don't trust the fact that the product itself is governed by a very small group of individuals, right? So that's a very concerning thing. But the circulating supply, all the tokens are circulated, which technically means that this project is doesn't have any form of inflationary rewards to it. But again, since it seems like a small group of people who love this project and who are anonymous have some stake in this project, because they obviously control a decent amount of tokens in order to influence governance decisions. I'm not really sure if I can trust this number, because I believe that the number of tokens that are circulating is probably far lower than this number, because obviously the founders themselves, the founder as well as the small group of individuals, have access to a decent chunk of tokens, thereby making governance decisions that usually other people can't really make, right? So that's obviously making me doubt this number. But for now, let's go with CoinMarketCap's numbers, which is about 70.17 million tokens, right? Which are all in circulation. So going to the charts itself, this token obviously doesn't have a lot of information, because it's still a relatively new token. The token was launched on September 1st, and then it immediately shot up to an all-time highs of about $7 per token, and then it kind of was volatile. It went down, then went up, crossed the $6.50 mark, went down again, and then it's been bouncing around. But overall, this token had gone down to $2.15 on 14th of September, and then it is kind of moving in the sideways direction. There is a chance that this token can make a new all-time high, but again, it is a very risky token to invest in, because not only because of its volatility, but also because of the fact that it doesn't even have an audit, and FTX and Coinbase has listed this without any again, the platform itself doesn't have an audit. So I don't know why Coinbase and FTX, two big centralized exchanges, would list this token. It is a definite shady token, which I personally don't really trust. But if you guys love this token, by all means, do your own research, and if you want to buy this token, then you can buy it, right? But if you do look into buying this token, I would suggest you to wait, because this token can easily go touch the $2.15 mark, which should be a good buy opportunity, because the market is cooling down, and this is the best opportunity to buy tokens if you are looking to buy tokens, right? So I would probably suggest you to wait till this token goes below the $2.50 mark, which would be a good buy opportunity, right? But I personally wouldn't touch this token. So when it comes to Bitcoin Comparative, this token obviously has been pumping in the Bitcoin Comparative as well. It had been pumping, in fact. The token was initially worth 7,351 satoshis initially, the start of this month, and then it immediately reached an all-time high of kind of 14,000 satoshis per token, before crashing down to a price of about 5,113 satoshis, and then it kind of is moving sideways, and it's currently at 8,000 satoshis per token, right? If you do want to buy this token, I would suggest you to buy this token when the token price touches below the 7,500 Satoshi mark or 7,000 Satoshi mark, which would be a good opportunity dollar cost average in if you're looking to buy this token, because this token technically hasn't pumped yet. This can pump easily. It definitely will go below a particular price point and then start pumping back up, and that's something that will give you some short-term gains, right? Even though this token is not already my favorite tokens, it's not my favorite token, I think it is a good token to trade. So I may potentially see if the token goes below the $2 kind of like $2.15 mark. I'd probably invest a very, very small, tiny play money on this just to see what the new all-time highs for this token would be. But if I lose that money, or if the token crashes like violently, then I'm willing to walk away, because it's going to be a very, very tiny fraction of my portfolio, not that much. But again, as I said, if you can't afford to lose your money, then do not invest in this token, because this token is very volatile. It is quite risky. Although it's listed on Coinbase and FTX, they basically stated that they don't have an audit, and that's going to be very concerning, right? So that's something that you need to do, factor into your research, right? So going to the markets, this token is available on Coinbase, FTX, Huobi Global, and several other tier 1 and tier 2 exchanges. Again, I have no idea how a token with no audit is listed on several popular exchanges. It's mind-blowing to me, but again, I may be missing some information that I'm not getting. Overall, I think this token is just another regular token which will probably stick around but may not do much. It's a very manipulatable token. It's very clearly stated here. Again, I can read that to you again. It's very clearly stated here that this token does not have an audit. So it says here, if you go to how is the Adventure Gold Network secured on CoinMarketCap, you can read it on the very second sentence that the token does not provide a security audit. So it doesn't even have an audit. We know what happens when a lot of money is locked into a project that does not necessarily have an audit. It's not going to go well for all the people who lock their money, right? And it's governed by a multi-sig consisting of its founder and several other still anonymous wallets. So again, I'm not saying that just because a bunch of anonymous wallets control the governance, it's a bad thing. I'm saying the fact that a very small group of individuals controlling the governance of this platform, of any platform, is not a good thing. So those are some two big red flags for me. Thereby, I'm not going to obviously, I'm going to use some play money for this, but I'm not really going to consider this as a serious investment for me. Again, if you want to invest in this token, be prepared to take the risk that can eventually end up making you lose your money, right? So if you are prepared to lose your money, then by all means go ahead, but that's something that you should come to your own conclusion, because this video does not contain financial advice, right? Again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.